You see, Nigeria is a country that don't look after their people. Look at Libya, when Gaddafi was there. Everything was virtually free. Here we have so many minerals, solid minerals across the whole land. Nobody is interested in tapping it because of this mentality that government has no business in business. Government has business, interest in business because they need to generate revenue. They need money, not taxing the poor people that are dying. Look at the new tax law. It's not a fair tax law. It's a tax law that can cause problems in this country. So if we are producing, if we are making enough money, why must we tax our people? This is wickedness. What we are having today is wickedness. We are leaving the substance and pursuing shadow. Well, it's not just taking over from an NPC. It has taken over from an NPC since last year or early this year. And we have not seen anything significant in its operations. We insisted that Mele Kyari should go for a Niger Delta person who is within the NPC to take over. But unfortunately, they brought somebody from Shell who knows not more than 10% of the NPC operations. And what concerns Nigeria mostly is two things. The refineries to work, and we have more output, production, so that we can sell more crude, feed the refineries, and ensure that the refineries are working every time. Two, we need to ensure that our gas production increases, and we're able to meet our target, get enough revenue for the development of Nigeria. Because Nigerians are crying now. Our economy is so bad, and what we need now is enough resources so that they can even reduce this tax regime they're bringing. We have a lot of mineral resources that are not tapped, and the oil and gas is one of the major sources of income. So if the NNPC is good enough, they should be able to help the nation. They should be able to help the nation by reducing the stress. We have so much oil reserve. We have so much gas reserve. But what is happening today? Our gas reserve, we are not tapping them enough. And likewise, we are not also tapping our oil reserve enough. Rather than looking for oil in the far north, where we are not sure, we have enough reserve in the Niger Delta that we can be able to produce up to 3 million barrels per day. And we needed the Niger Delta person who can also understand the people of Niger Delta, talk to their people so that we can give them the leverage without interruption, so that oil production will increase from the present level to 3-4 million. If you are producing 4 million barrels of crude oil daily, I see no reason why Dangote should import crude oil. I see no reason why the refinery would not have enough crude oil. And I see no reason why other the incoming refineries and the modern refinery would not get enough crude oil. I see no reason why we would not also export enough to add enough resources that would be able to help the economy of the country. But he is not doing that. He came in, fired all the MDs of the refinery, I put allegations on them, and we just had these allegations. The allegations have not been proved by EFCC, and or the court has not been able to approve the allegations. And most of the refineries today are owing. You put people into a very big debt. Some they are owing some billions, some billions of naira, some billions of naira, and some of these monies are borrowed from bank and other sources. And as it came in now, most of the contractors in the refineries are crying. They cannot even pay their security personnel because everything is halt, stand still. And that is not how you run a place. Only for him to tell us, oh, he wants to sell refinery. the way they sold the Eleven Petrochemical, and it's very efficient. And that refinery is just how many? It's not up to 50 years, right? But if you go to Brazil, Brazilian refinery is over 100 years. If you go to America, the refineries have stayed over 150 years. There are countries that have refineries that have stayed 200 years, and they are still functional. So what is wrong with our refineries that is not functional? I am very sure that Warri Refinery was almost at the point of production before he came, and he stopped it. And when you stop production, when you stop the plant, for you to bring back the plant requires a lot of money. You spend so much money to start the refinery. So when they are already on steam, you came in and you stop all of them without minding how much the country is losing, without minding the output these refineries will give to the country. We are talking about price of fuel. When the demand is, when the supply is more than demand, definitely price will crash. Like I predicted last year, when Dangote refinery is fully on stream, the price will crash. And we are seeing Dangote has been crashing the price. If we are able to get the refineries on stream and even bottleneck them to increase more production, I think we can do more. But that is not where his focus is. It's what we are saying that his focus is how to sell the refineries. His focus is how to give more oil block to the president. His focus is how to sell critical assets like the retail, and then person retail, which we are lucky they started by giving it to expatriates, how they will sell it to themselves, how to sell MPDC to themselves, how to sell more oil block to themselves. That is what we are observing. So we think, I personally think the Niger Delta has not benefited. It has not even deemed it fit to come down to see the leadership of the Niger Delta, where this oil is coming from. And they said he wants to improve NNPC. How can you do it? And the worst still, instead of working with the people inside, is bringing people outside who don't know anything about the industry to slow down the space. People who have worked there, who are supposed to end promotions, you're not promoting them, you're bringing new people. It's not a political party. This is purely a technical job. NNPC is a professional job. And so you bring people who have been trained by NNPC, who have trained both in refining, who have trained both in the downstream, upstream operations, for them to come and man this place. You come in, you block them. So many people are without assignment. They don't have any decks. You just make them redundant so that you will fire them. You came in to stand up by sacking people. This is not the way things are done. So we think this man, if he wants to really help Nigeria and the refinery and the NNPC, he must learn from the rope to know what is going on and see how we can get the refinery work. Because if we don't do that, definitely we will not be happy with him and we will fight him. I don't blame him because this is not his own field. He is from upstream. You bring someone from upstream to now manage downstream, midstream, and upstream together. And I don't know, because even the upstream, a lot of these companies are not producing enough. And when we have a very huge refineries, there are no more seismic operations for us to get more data on where the crude oil deposits are. We are not talking about exploration, and we are not seeing drilling. These are the drive we expect the GMD of NNPC to be sure with Diop to make sure that these things are working. Because if there's massive production, even the offshore production that we are having, we don't even know how they are measured. So we need to ensure that the production increases from the present level to a level that we can give our refineries locally and also export enough. We need to improve on our gas. We don't need only the energy. The brass energy is dead for political reasons. When we have enough gas reserve, the gas reserve we have today in Nigeria, we cannot finish it in the next 100 years. 100 years to come, Nigeria cannot finish a gas reserve. And if we say fossil oil is going, and we still have enough deposit in Nigeria, and we are not extracting it, we are wasting our time looking for somewhere to get crude oil when there are a lot of deposits in the Niger Delta that we have not been able to do. Instead of addressing the issue of the Niger Delta problem, the impact of oil production in the Niger Delta, the environmental hazard, the air pollution, the water pollution, the sea pollution that this thing has caused, the destruction of our aquatic system, the destruction of our farms. These are the basic problems that we address. And this is very significant. Very small amount can be able to appease the community to allow you to operate. Even the PIA that is there, the community, the Niger Delta are not benefiting because you attach it on operations. And when there's no production, when there's no operations, how much will the Niger Delta benefit? We are just seeing peanuts across the Niger Delta today. And they give it to their cronies who see it as evil. But when you are doing the right thing, I think the people of Niger Delta will be happy and we would get this production increased. Refineries will now be able to work because they are now fit and allow them. I said, I can tell you, Warri Refinery is at a 90% completion. Port Harcourt Refinery is at 95 or 98. They have only a little bottleneck to solve. If we allow these refineries to work, it will correct itself countries. But today we cannot. We are buying, we are importing. So how can we export? So these are the problems we have. And I think if we want this petroleum price to come down, which will bring down the economy, is to ensure that the refinery works. If government has no business in business, how will they generate revenue to run the government? You see, Nigeria is a country that don't look after their people. Look at Libya, when Gaddafi was there. Everything was virtually free. Here we have so many minerals, solid minerals across the whole land. Nobody is interested in tapping it because of this mentality that government has no business in business. Government has business, interest in business because they need to generate revenue. They need money, not taxing the poor people that are dying. Look at the new tax law. It's not a fair tax law. It's a tax law that can cause problems in this country. So if we are producing, if we are making enough money, why must we tax our people? This is wickedness. What we are having today is wickedness. We are leaving the substance of pursuing shadow. Nigeria is interested in oil. We should be able to evolve in our oil. We should be able to manage it ourselves. We should be able to run it. We have competent hands, for crying out loud. I want to tell you, the refineries today are not managed by expertise. The refineries across Nigeria, Port Harcourt Refinery, Warri Refinery, Kaduna Refinery, are managed 99.5% indigenous. And if indigenous are the people running it, and they are running it well, other than starving them with fund, other than bad management, like I said, when Mele Kyari was there, I said, the NNPC is structured in a way that the refineries, the subsidiaries, have their budget. They also have their tender bond. They have their management committee approval as MESCOM. If it is above $2 million, it will go to what we call OPESCOM. OPESCOM is managed by the group executive directors. That's from after $2 million to $5 million. After $5 million, it goes to NNPC management committee to look at it. That's $5 million to $10 million. Thereafter, it now goes to the board, NNPC board. And from NNPC board, as a limit, it will go to FAC for approval. It's a systematic process, and they have another company out of the PPMC that will sell. The man who is producing knows how much is producing this crude oil, or how much is processing it to get a petroleum product, how much is producing to get kero, how much is spending to get naphtha, how much is spending to get low fuel oil, how much is producing to get high fuel oil. All these are products that are required in this country and outside the country. You know, when I was young and I left the shipping industry, we used to do what we call bunker. The ships, The international vessel comes in, they take low pump fuel oil, they take high pump fuel oil, they take diesel, they take water. And they are paying us in foreign currency. All that have stopped because of bad management. All right? So if we are serious with this business, let us allow those who are trained over the years. There are some that are retired. You can bring them back. The refineries today, you have retired everybody. We will run it. Instead of you to now recruit people to replace those who are retiring, to understand the plant, because the refinery is a complex industry. It's a very complex industry. Even the maintenance department alone is a complex place. There are a lot of equipment. You have the several equipment that the refinery can be able to maintain itself in-house. We have the ETSD that can also plan how these things can work. Yet, you don't allow them to run it because you feel Nigerians don't have business in running the business. Then who has the business to run the business? If government does not have the power and right to write, the individual you want to sell to, are they not Nigerians? If individuals in Nigeria can run it, why can't government run it? It's corruption, inefficiency that is disturbing this country. And if we are all sincere to ourselves, we had a refinery that was managed, and they were not rich. Look at the likes of Oyibo. Shemalin Oyibo was not mega rich at GMD, who rose from the rank and file to GMD. Look at Adams before he died. Those are the fathers of the industry. Look at Olobare. How are they? Look at the beginning of Nebe. These people were able to run this equipment plant with Niger Delta leaders. Because the plant is in Niger Delta, they were committed to it. I repeat, the people of Niger Delta don't need minister of petroleum. What you need is GMD. Take your minister of petroleum and give us GMD. We'll be more satisfied because we know that the refinery can empower thousands of people every year. They can create more millionaires than giving somebody the minister that will be useless to the people of Niger Delta. So we want the government to look inward. Bring professionals who knows the business to run the business, not people outside who don't know how to business because you want to patronize people politically. This is not a political business. The refinery should be run professionally as a business entity, not as a political party.